The time that is for your safety, since we will be driving over some pretty rough and bumpy terrain on the reserve, and it definitely includes children. So if you have any smaller explorers aboard, they're welcome to sit on your lap to get a better view, but we cannot stand up or lift them above your heads while we're out here or change sides of the truck. And please keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck at all times. This is the Little Ituri Forest, and on the right-hand side, we're going to be looking for the okapi. It's hanging out right in the center there, and a great spot for us today. It is a very unusual-looking animal with that dark brown, solid color on its coat, and then its legs kind of resemble a zebra. It is not related to the zebra, though. Its closest relative is the giraffe. To the left, you'll see the greater kudu, and then the bongo up there as well. They are two different species of forest antelope, but they share in common that white striping pattern that they use as camouflage to hide in plain sight among the trees of the forest. Good view of the backside of that okapi, that zebra striping pattern on its legs there. Now, I mentioned that the okapi's closest relative is the giraffe. They do share in common with giraffe an extremely long tongue, long enough even that the okapi is able to lick their own eyeballs with that long tongue. They commonly do. On the left-hand side, we may, or actually on the right-hand side, we'll see that saddle-billed stork up there, that black and white bird. That is one of our females, which I can tell by her yellow eye color. The males have a brown eye color. And there might be a black rhino here on the left. We'll look for him. He's been a little bit elusive this morning.
Hold on, see if we can see him.
Don't see him out there, so we'll continue onward because there are so many more animals that we will have a great view of, including the second saddle-billed stork. So they stand about 3 to 5 feet tall, and they grow wingspans of up to 9 feet wide. To give you an idea of the size of that wingspan, if you look above your heads at the canopy from the left to the right, that is about 9 feet. So that is the width of that bird's wingspan. We are going to exit the forest and make our way down to the Safi River, which is home to hippo.
Ooh, hippopotamus is next.
They might be on the bank of the river since it's a little bit colder in temperature here, and it looks like there are going to be a couple on the right-hand side out of the water here for us. They weigh about 4,000 pounds and eat about 80 to 90 pounds of food each and every day. If you're on the left-hand side, do not worry, there will very likely be some more out of the water further up. In the meantime, you'll see one in the water on the left-hand side. Hippos can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time when they're underneath the water. They are able to swim, but they usually just prefer to walk along the bottom side of the river to conserve their energy.
Look at all those birds.
Now these large gray and white birds here, there's one kind of swimming upstream, and then the rest are mostly on their nests on the island. Those are the pink-backed pelicans, one of just 8 pelican species in the world today. And they get their name from the pink spots that develop on their back during the mating season. Those of you on the left-hand side, here's your turn to see those hippos out of the water. They're going to be on the left for you this time.
See the hippopotamus?
A group of hippos is referred to as a float of hippos. And we do have 10 hippos in our float out here.
Look at the alligator.
On the left-hand side, you'll see the Nile crocodile, the top predator animal of our river. They have those massive jaws that allow them to capture prey even bigger than themselves, and they themselves are quite large. Nile crocodile are going to weigh about 500 pounds, and they're typically about 16 feet in length. They have an impressive bite force. Their pressure of bite per square inch in their mouth is stronger than a great white shark's bite force, so they are not a predator that you want to mess with. We're coming out of the river and onto the savannah, which is actually where we're going to spend the majority of our safari today. It is the largest area of land that we have dedicated out here on the reserve. There's a pretty good reason for that. It is home to our largest species of animals like the giraffe, the elephants, and also the white rhino. Savannas are going to form in areas on our planet where there is not enough rainfall throughout the year to support a rainforest. However, it's also not dry enough throughout the year to support a desert. So these ecosystems are kind of a middle ground between those two, perhaps more commonly known ecosystems. The two seasons out here, as you can probably guess, are going to be the rainy season and then the dry season.
Zebra.
Coming up on the left-hand side, once we reach these shorter bushes here, we're going to be looking for the African wild dog, also nicknamed the painted dog because of the coloration on their coats. They have been liking a spot that makes them a little bit tough to see, but they are probably to the right-hand side of the rock cave here, back in the dirt. Yeah, that's where they're hanging out.
I see.
So the African wild dog is the most successful hunter on the entire savanna. They are very strongly bonded to each other in their packs, which usually consist of about 5 to 15 in number. So they're very effective at using teamwork to capture their prey. On the left-hand side as well here, we're going to see the Hartman's mountain zebra hanging out with the sable antelope and also the wildebeest.
Look at the zebras.
Those sable have long horns that gently slope backwards to deter predators from jumping onto their backs. The wildebeest live in the most densely packed herds of any other mammal, with just one exception, which is actually us humans. And then those zebra, they typically live in herds of about 5. They will be led by a dominant male zebra. Now, all the zebra might have looked kind of the same to us. They all have that black and white stripe on their coats, but very similar to the way that you and I have unique fingerprints on our hands. Every zebra has a unique striping pattern on its coat. So when baby zebra are first born, they will imprint onto their mom zebra and memorize her striping pattern. That's how they're always able to tell her apart from this other zebra. They will be very dependent on mom for the entire first year of their lives. Zebras will nurse for mom for that whole year.
I see a giraffe. I see it, Charlie.
Further out on the horizon, you'll see some large pairs of horns belonging to the uncoaly cattle. Their horns can grow to be up to 4 feet in length. You'll also see a lot of people's favorite animal out here, which is the giraffe, the tallest animal in the world. Coming up ahead, we're going to have a great view of a giraffe on both the left and right hand side. They're kind of surrounding the trucks up there. So no matter where you're sitting, you're going to get a good view. Giraffes stand about 20 feet in height when they are fully grown, with babies standing up. We got one running. Well, for just a second it was running. Their top running speed is about 35 miles an hour.
See the giraffe?
Our baby giraffe is out here this morning, so he's the shortest one over there eating. I'm not sure if that's his mom or not, but they're sharing that bush there. And then we have a couple that are actually crossing the road.
Look at
Daddy's side.
Giraffes are going to spend the majority of each and every day eating. They eat about 18 hours a day. They only need to sleep for about 30 minutes in a 24-hour period. We also have view of the Patterson's eland. Those are the 2 very large antelope in the back on the corner there. The Patterson's eland is both a male and female. They're those really cool spiral-shaped horns that you can see on top of their heads there.
You like that giraffe?
But we're going to shift gears and see if we can find the